The Jetsetter's here, okay. I need also the Blue Falcon. I also need... The Classic Dragster isn't all done. I don't need to worry about the Classic Dragster anymore. Jetsetter. Weight 6.5. It had a buff in that. It should be heavy, to be fair. Tilt strength is 0, which I don't know why I did. That should have some. I'm gonna have that wobble just a bit. Because when you're drifting out, if the car is supposed to lean out, that's how you know you're like pushing the car to the limit. This should be, I think, this makes it a little bit stronger, 0.4. Acceleration, all of that. Its acceleration had a buff. The main thing that I'm looking for right now is the drift distance, this thing here. So the drift distance, this is the angle at which the car is sliding. This is going to come down quite a bit, so I'm going to bring that down to 20 for now. 20 is about what the Classic Dragster is. Drift range, automatic tightness, drift tightness. Actually, you know what? If I change the drift distance and it still turns tight, that might feel weird. This drift distance is also determined by how the car, or the vehicle enters the corner. Not really how it holds it, but how it enters the corner. That's determined by drift distance as well. Mini turbo, 15 to 20. I feel like that's actually too strong, which is funny, because you gotta remember, when you do anything relating to mini turbos and carts have this thing where it doesn't double in value, it triples in value when you get a super mini turbo. This doesn't go from 15 or 20 to 40, it goes from 20 to 60, which is quite a bit. I'm gonna keep the speed, and I'm also going to nerf mini turbo. That seems fine. Drift angle, manual drift tightness. This might come down a bit as well, just a bit, nothing crazy. You don't want to grab all the metrics and just, you know, throw them around. That's how you break things. You need to be very careful and very deliberate with everything that you do. I wonder how, if someone made like a chart, I wonder how far we are to like completing this. Because I still have a lot of things that need to be done. But I feel like I'm getting close to like having a finished version, not a completed version. Like that would require a lot of tuning to make it sure that everything's working properly and like everything's tuned and balanced. But just to finish all the vehicles, how far am I? I feel like I did a lot. I feel like I did at least a quarter of the vehicles. 1, 2, 3, this one needs work, 4, 5, 6. That is half of the heavyweights, and the heavyweights is the one that I did the most of. So that's 6, keep counting, 7, 8, 9. I don't think I did any lightweights yet. Oh wait, no, I did, 11 vehicles. This thing needs work too, to keep charging. I don't like where it is right now, but some people do. 11 out of 36. So I need to do one more to make it a third way there. One more vehicle. Okay, so this thing should drift. It shouldn't like dive into the corner. It should just gradually slide across. I don't know how I feel about that. It looks better. I think that tilt is too strong. Yeah. I changed the metric by 1 point and it tilts that much. Okay, that's really wobbly. The angle looks much better though. The angle, it's not like diving into the corner. The car is like still pretty much straight. That looks good. And its handling is kind of trash, but it like drifts pretty straight actually. You know, for an outside drifting bike part, drifts really straight. I feel like the drift angle needs to be a little bit less, but it's in the right direction. I don't know why it tilts so much. I only changed it by 1 point. When you do the tilt stuff, you have to go in even smaller increments. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I changed it from 0.03 to 0.04. I need to do 0.035 or something. This thing's really sideways. It's still dull too, and the handling is really bad. But since it drifts straight, so you jump and drift and it doesn't really swing out too much, it has a different arc. You know what? I actually kind of like it. It's not good, and it doesn't drift tight, but it enters tight compared to what it defaults. That just feels smooth, man. If you let the vehicle do what it's good at, when it comes to the handling portion, except for the rocking back and forth, this is good. This is perfectly acceptable. The only thing I might change is the drift angle, but I'm like kind of feel like this is good, because if you change the drift angle too much, what ends up happening is it jumps into the corners. It's still an outside drifting vehicle. The only difference is the angle is a little bit different. So it doesn't drift like this. If this is the vehicle, okay? It doesn't drift like this. It drifts like this. It's still an outside drifting vehicle though, so it just turns less. And it really bites the corner, which is weird. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, it really bites. That's so weird. Like oh, that is a weird angle. Okay. You can see like the angle that it takes. It takes a different line, which is, you know, what I'm trying to do, but like, that is so bizarre. So it could do that really well. All right, you know what? Warming up. It's growing on me. It just bites the corner a little bit better. It doesn't slide outward. No, I like this. It fits the Jetsetter better than what it was before. So it has a sharper entry, but ooh, I'm not making that. You know, it still feels heavy. The only thing I need to change is its drift distance, and then obviously I need to tune the speed and the handling so that it's not too good, because it is pretty quick. Oh no. I fell off and I got a 45. That's pretty fast. Alright, let's tune that up a little bit more. I'm actually gonna nerf the speed right now. Jetsetter speed, bring that back down to like 87. I need to redo all the speeds eventually. And then the drift distance, I want to make that 18. Mini turbo, bring that down a bit. And then the last thing I needed to change was the tilt strength. So change that back to, I'm gonna make that 2. Obviously now we need to test it, but I'm pretty sure that's good to go. Tilt factor is an interesting one because you have to almost start kind of wide with this thing. That's not how you do that. And then like grips it into it. And if you have to almost like counter steer everything, which is kind of counterintuitive for a car because it will hold the line on its own. You don't have to hold anything. So vehicles like this really abuse the fact that they could double hop drift to get a really tight line. It still tilts quite a bit, actually. And it could take that. Okay, so the handling is not terrible, actually. I don't think the speed carried. Does Warrior? Oh yeah, Warrior has speed. I'm stupid. I forgot. That's why you need to tune everything to be a little bit slower because the characters have attributes. The problem is right here, you don't do anything. And if I just let go, okay, it's not quite sharp enough to take that. You could do this, I guarantee you. If I actually double drift it properly. Its handling is still too good. And 0.22 is still too strong. I don't get the tilt strength at all. That makes no sense. Oh yeah. Okay. Tilt strength makes no sense to me. This is hardly different from stock, and it's wobbling all over the place. There might be the angle as well, because when you're sideways, tilting is more exaggerated and you don't notice it, but when it's straight and it tilts, you notice it a lot more. I think that's what's happening here. So it's supposed to tilt, but not that much. Speed is still good. Handling is actually a little bit tight, but I'm okay with that. Now this build has the updated Jetsetter. You know, just to give you an idea of how big this scope, what we're trying to do here, I have done 11 vehicles. Not even completed, 11 vehicles, and I haven't even done all the 11 vehicles completed yet because I need to not only tune them up once the entire thing comes out, but I also need to balance them for both manual and automatic. Granted, most of them will be sisters, so there'll be a manual and automatic version, but they will play differently. And some vehicles will have this thing where they can't even be played in the opposite version because of the tune. So, for instance, the Honey Coupe. The Honey Coupe cannot be played in manual, no matter what you do. I mean, maybe I could tune it up a bit, but for the most part, the Honey Coupe will have to be an automatic vehicle because of the angle that the vehicle is always at. It makes it just impossible to play any other way. But for most of the vehicles, they should have both manual and automatic. I got a lot of work put ahead of me. You know what? Let me stop talking. Let me actually start getting to it. This is a lot of stuff.